What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Kinstretch class, Rapid Touch Stretch Effect. My name is Coach Luke, and I'll be taking you through today's 30-minute hip-focused Kinstretch class. Today's class will be a little bit different, as we're really just going to look at the hip as a whole, but really focusing on our adduction and abduction. So that abduction is going towards the midline of the body, abduction is taking away from the midline of the body. So we're going to start with our sideline hip cars, and then we will do some capsule cars for the hip from the abducted position. So we're just going to take the sideline position. You have a block, one block under the head. You want to hold on to one block here. If you only have one, just take that under the head here, and then take your arms out front. Whatever is most comfortable for you. You can be here. You can hug the block nice and tight to your chest, or you can just simply go without the blocks and then go hands in the floor. Whatever you got available, you just want to get the best position for you. Take those knees about 45 degrees out from the front of the body, and then we're just going to start with 2 sideline hip cars here, just nice and slow. Just work on keeping the whole body tight. The tension in the block matches the tension in that hip. Very good. Let's go one more. Just squeeze, come over, rotate the heel back, extend as we try to internally rotate more. Here I will extend straight back. Lift that leg as high as I can over the top, and then come down from here. Just open up. Get that abducted position, right? So I'm trying to get as far open with this leg as I possibly can without rolling open, right? So this leg stays down to the floor. Squeeze that block here, and then I'm just going to internally rotate. Push into that boundary, fight for a little bit more. Externally rotate, keep the knee right where it's at, and now just drive that heel forward. Get the tension on the inside of that leg. We got 2 more each way. Rotate. Rotate forward. Squeeze it. Let's go one more time. Rotate back. That's internal rotation. My femur rotates forward. External rotation. Femur rotates back. Rotates my foot to the front of the body. Just finish that rep. Close it down. And then we'll switch. Got the block under the head. Got the other block. Right out front, stack those knees. You want a good brace through that torso. Make sure that this side of the body, the whole side of the body, just stays nice and locked in. Especially if we extend back, heel towards the wall, we're not extending through that spine. So just keep everything nice and tight. That's where that block helps us create a little bit more upper body tension. Squeeze out a little bit more. Take the rotation. Go back through. Extend. Open up. Close, back down, let's go one more time. Flexion, abduction, internal rotation, keep coming around. Try back, try for more as we extend, keep that core tight, feel the glute hamstring working there. Around, over. From there, let's just go right back up into our abducted position. Grab that bottom leg in the floor, open up the leg as much as I can. If you want to keep your hand top of the knee, just remind you to keep the leg still. You can try to do that as well. I'm just going to go 3 capsule cars. So it's internal rotation, external rotation, foot rotates forward, internal rotation, foot rotates back, external rotation, foot rotates forward. Keep fighting for more. Squeeze at that end range motion there. We got one more time. Rotate, squeeze, rotate forward, squeeze it, fight for more, feel that inner thigh tension working, keep driving that knee open, and come right back down. Okay, from there, we're just going to go into our sideline adduction building rails. You're going to lay on your side, you're going to throw the bottom leg on top of the block here. Make sure I have a good straight line in my body, right? So I'm showing from my elbow, my hip, to my knee, to my foot. If you need to just block back a little bit, by all means do so. Just make sure you got a good straight line. Depending on where you're at, so if I'm here and I can lift my foot off that block, that means that I'm too low to the ground, right? I've created too much of an angle, or too less of an angle, too little of an angle, I should say. So I'm going to close that down. I'm going to come here, try to lift my foot. If I can get that foot off the block there, I can go here and lift my rib cage, so I can do about a second block. Throw the block under the rib cage just to remind me to stay nice and tight. and then I try to lift that foot and I cannot get it off the block. That's exactly where I want to be. So if you can do it with a block, you can. If you don't have a block, just think lifts like doing a side plank. Use your left hand just to remind that ribcage to stay up throughout. Your body's gonna want to do that, so it's good to have a reminder, some little tactile cue to keep you up. If you get here and you can still get that foot off the block, then you're gonna want to take, so think swivel the arm out. So the elbow stays here and the arm just swivels out, hand places down, and then I post up from there. Again, try that. If that's too easy, then what you would do is you put your hand where the elbow is, and that's for my mobile folks, that would be here in a much more vertical torso position. And for me, that would be impossible right now to get my foot off the block. So I'm going to be here. You can go sideways block here, just as a reminder, or there. So what we want to do is do our pails and rails contraction. But because we're not doing a passive stretch component here, we're just going to breathe, we're going to get set, and then we're going to do our pails and rails protocol, which would be 10 seconds driving down, building up to 100% max effort, crushing our foot down into the block, and then 15-second quick rails contraction, making sure my leg stays locked out, working to get that foot off the ground, okay, or off the block, I should say. So get yourself set up, find where you got to be, get a good brace through that core, so take a breath in, full body contractions, fill a contraction out to that inner thigh, and then slowly start going down with that foot and ankle onto the block. We're at 20%, 30%, 40%. Make sure your upper body tension matches your lower body tension. 50, 60, but when I start shaking, 70, 80, 90, keep that core tight and 100% effort. Drive down onto that block. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rails. Try to get that foot off the block. Imagine that block is a scale and you're trying to get that foot light on that scale. If you're getting off the block, that's okay. That just means on the next set, we're going to have to elevate your torso. Let's go another 10, 9, squeeze it, 8, that inner thigh work in, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. We'll do one more round there. So again, if you got your foot off the block, an inch or so, just going to elevate your torso. So if you're here, come here. If you're here, come here. So you can play around with different positions, what's best for you. So let's just work on deep belly breathing for about another 15 seconds. Reset your alignment if you realize that kind of came out a little bit there. And then we're just going to get set for the next step. Ready? Take a breath in. Full body contraction. Start driving foot and ankles down onto that block. We're at 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70%, 80%, 90, and max effort. Crush that foot to that block. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rails. Get that light on that scale. Crush that foot off of that block. So really try to get away from that. Really feel that adductor, inner thigh work in here as we try to drive up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. And just remove this block here. We can remove this block here as well. We're going to go right into some side lying adductor lift-offs. So we'll be in the same position. If you want to keep that block on your ribcage, you can. We're just going to go right into some lift-offs from this position. So we're just going to take lift, pause, set right back down. We're going to go 10 reps here to get nice and tight. Brace that core, lock out the lifting leg, and lift, back down. Lift, down, 2, lift, down, 3, lift, down, 4, lift, down, 5 more, lift, down, 6, lift, down, 7, lift, down, 8, 2 more, lift, down, 9, last one, lift, down, and 10. We're going to the sides. Get that block. Again, the left side and right side may be different, so you need to kind of do the same exact experiment that we did the first side. You by all means take your time and figure out what's the best position for you to be in so that you can get the most out of it. I know my left side adductor is a little tougher, so if I go from here, I know I can get that foot up. So I'm going to throw this here. I'm going to go come from the side, because I need to give myself a little bit of wiggle room as opposed to being up here. So certainly do the same thing on both sides. It's up to you based on your body, your needs, and your goals. So there, just gonna make sure I got a straight line, elbow, hip, everything is lined up. Lock in, make sure I'm good, make sure my left leg is locked out. Breath in, ankle here, grab the knee, whatever you gotta do. Brace, and start driving the foot down onto that block. Building it up 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, max effort 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rails. Try to pull away, pull away, pull away. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Give it everything you've got. 10, 9, keep that body tight. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Just recover. Collect your breathing. Lift that foot up a little higher you can. If you want to lift your body up, if you're able to lift that foot off of the block, definitely do so. Just work on that breath. Bring that heart rate down. Calm that nervous system down between reps. You want to post up onto a hand. You certainly can do that as well. It's actually what you need based on your body needs and goals. I'm going to go from side to now slightly higher elevation here, just to keep me honest. There, let's take a breath in. Full body tension, full body contraction. Start driving the foot, ankle down on that block again. We're at 10%. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Crush that block. 70, 80, 90, and max effort 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rails. Inner thigh working here. Try to pull that foot away. Keep the rest of that body still. The leg locked out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Pull this block out as sure you can. Take this block, set it aside. We're going to go right into some adductor lift-offs. Finish off the sideline component of the class here. Mat is nice and straight. From there, reset yourself, line your body up. Lift that rib cage if you need to. Find the position that we trained from. From there, we're just going to lift. Back in. Lift. Just go here, lift, down, 3, lift, down, 4, lift, 5, lift, 6, lift, down, 7, 3 more, lift, down, 8, lift, down, 9, lift, down, and 10. Awesome, that is the sideline component of today's class. So now we're going to go right into some frog pose. Frog pose is a favorite. Put favorite in quotes on that because it's definitely the infamous position for many classes, as it is definitely a challenge for not only the adduction, but also some internal rotation work that we're going to be doing today as well. So we're just going to find this position here. Knees are on the floor. Knees are about 90 degrees. Knee bends about 90 degrees. I'm just going to find the position that's best for me. So you may need to sit back a little bit more. You may need to sit up a little bit more. So kind of post on your hands. That's a good kind of first position a lot of times. And then maybe second round, go down around the elbows. You can posteriorly and anteriorly tilt the spine or the pelvis. So that's going to give you a little bit different sensation. We're going to do those in between our rounds of rounds here. So really what we're trying to focus on now is just breathing, relaxing as much as you possibly can. If you're on a mat that allows you to slide out a little bit more, so you can create so it's easy to increase the stretch. And that one's a little bit more sticky, which is good for certain things. This one is a little bit more challenging, so as I open up more, I'm just trying to very slowly slide my knees out under control. And then let's just focus on breathing. So for another 30 seconds, what you can do too is if you want to just kind of take the pressure off the shoulders, you can take a block or two, kind of throw on the torso, for you to kind of rest on. That takes some of the upper body tension away from it. As you breathe, you can also work to sit back a little bit more. Open up those hips a little bit more here. 4 count in, 8 count out, 5 count in, 10 count out, whatever you inhale. Try to double the length of the exhale. Exhale is really where you can get the most relaxation and be able to find a little bit more passive range. Okay? So inhales, I'm pressing my knees into the floor as if I was trying to bring these together. Rails, I'm trying to pull my knees apart, driving my knees towards the ceiling, which will take me deeper into the stretch. Okay? Big breath in. Full body contraction, get a nice good brace, and then start driving the knees into the floor, get a good contraction to those adductors and inner thighs. We're at 10%. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100% at 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rails. Try to pull those knees away from each other. Try to pull these to the ceiling. Feel those glutes, those outer hips turning on. So really work to abduct. Pull those knees away from the midline at maximum effort. 9, 8. Open that stretch. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. We're going to do past the stretch component. We're going to do one more set. We're going to do the stretch component. We're just going to work some very slow segmental flexion extension. So just like if you've done the spine class with us, you start at the tailbone, work up into flexion. So we're just trying to round out. You're not going to get a whole lot, definitely nothing compared to what you would do in the quadruped position. You just want to find spinal flexion, tuck your tailbone underneath. Once you find the end there, just very slowly start the tailbone again. And then we're going to segmentally work spinal extension. Again, this is pretty brutal from this position, so just go very slow. Make sure you're working full breadth, full range. Go one more time. So breath in, start tucking that tailbone. Work flexion as much as you possibly can. And then one more time, let's go extension. Lift the tailbone up all the way back. Okay, there. Find your position again, so think nice tight brace. Sit back a little bit deeper in the stretch if you like. Take a breath in, solidify the torso. Spill the tension out all the way throughout the entire body, and then start driving the knees down at 10%. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80%, 90%, and 100%. Crush those knees to the floor. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rails. Try to pull those knees towards the ceiling. Drive them away, slide them out, get more depth, get more. Use those glutes, open up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, from here, stay in position. We're almost down to this position here. We're going to go right into some internal rotation lift-offs for the back foot. So what we do is just drive into 5 on the left, 5 on the right. You're just going to keep the position. Nice tight core. Again, if you want to shift around, you want to be more here, or drop down torso, you can certainly do that as well. Drive the knee to the floor. We're just going to lift that foot as high as you possibly can. It's not about how high it gets, it's about how much internal tension you can create just the internal rotation from that hip. So we're going from here, Knee drives down, lift that left foot, flies everywhere. And right back. You're gonna get higher than me, you may not get quite as high. That's not what matters. What matters, push yourself and create more range from your body without anything else going along for the ride. There, we're at 3, 4, last one, lift, squeeze it, knee in the floor, lift, 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 back, down, good, we got 5 on the right. Reset the tension, core's nice and tight, and then lift that right foot, right back down. Lift that right foot, get up, get up, get up, get up. 2, lift, down. 3, 2 more here, lift, down. 4, last one, lift, drive it to the ceiling, press the knee to the floor, and right back down, very good, and then we can slowly come out of that stretch position. We'll drop down to your chest, pick up on your hands, something that will just allow us to come out of that. And then we'll just kind of take a little breath and relax. Okay, so from here, we're just going to go right back into some hip cars, just like we started the class. And we're going to do some multi-position capsule cars. We did the abducted capsule cars before. We're going to do some more of those, especially after we've just worked abduction, with especially finishing with internal rotation. And then we're going to go from a slightly different position as well. So from here, the arms out front, just like how we started class. If you want to change positions, you can do that as well. It's up to you. Play around with different positions, find what works best for you. Also find what may not be quite as comfortable, because that may show that that's the position where you're going to spend some more time, right? So body's tight. If you want to take, if you don't have a block, you want to take this hand under the rib cage. That's another good reminder, just to stay nice and engaged. So I'm lifting the rib cage here. That means my core is engaged. I got good full body tension, not just rock. Relaxing into the floor. And then go up, open, internal rotation, and come around. We got 2 reps here, just like how we started. And back around, and close one more time. Up, open as far as I can. Internal rotation, and around, and back through. Extend, up, over the top. Come down. From there, I'm just going to come up here, and I will internally rotate. So this is exactly the motion that we did when we were on the floor, except we just got half the body there, right? So here, externally rotate, keep that knee where it's at. You want to watch it. You want to put our hands here. Whatever allows you just to make sure we're as abducted as possible. And we're trying to get as much internal rotation here, and then external rotation in that position there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that knee right out in front, so I'm going to kind of more of a flex position. I'll externally rotate. Do your first rep, see how far you get. If you get to the floor, just lift that knee just a little bit more. So you can get external rotation, keep the knee here. Internal rotation, keeping that knee right where it's at, but really trying to rotate the outer hip work. We've got 2 more there. So here, external, internal, external, internal rotation, rotate, 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 and come back down and start. We'll switch sides. Here, walk out front, set that core tension, 2 hip cars here, up, open, internal rotation, and come through. Just make sure that core stays tight, rib stays down, make sure this stays engaged here, and we're only moving through the hip. One more time. Open, get as far open as possible. Rotate, around and through. Get back. Round over the top, and down. From there, we'll just go up, open, stay open, Internal rotation, drive that heel back to the wall. External rotation, drive that heel forward. 2 more. Forward, external. Squeeze that block, keep that body tight. Last one. Internal fight, 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 fight. Feel that outer hip working. Last one, external rotation. Squeeze that leg, inner thigh, drive the knee back, but heel forward. Let's come down in front, so you can go to 90. A lot of times when you're going out of the external rotation there, so you just lift up just a little bit. And there, I will externally rotate. And from there, internal rotation, feel that outer hip working there. We got 2 more. External, that body tight. Internal, lift that foot, lift that leg. 1 more, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. Lift the knee a little bit if you have to get more external rotation. And there, lift it, fight more, and go around to the start. Very good. So that was our 25-30 minute adduction, really the hip focus class, but really focused on the adduction. So we started with on a sideline position, and then an adduction, abduction combo from that frog pose. So we also finished the frog pose with some internal rotation. So that's one that we, just like we finished with here, working internal rotation from the sideline hip abduction position with the capsule cars. So those are ones, the capsule cars are ones that I recommend practice every day. The more cars, the more capsule cars you can build into your daily routine, the better your hips are going to feel. And then people tend to neglect the adduction component, so that's the sideline component we started with in their training, and a lot of the kettlebell work. So those are the 2 really good options for you, the sideline component of the kettlebell rails, or that metrics that we did, along or followed up by the passive rate workout. It's a great way to kind of solidify the range of motion and control through those inner thigh muscles. So again, thank you for joining me. Today's 30-minute hip focus Kinstretch class. Hope to see you.